Hello everyone, it's Dr. G here and welcome to another video on how to create effective strategies for marketing. So have you ever wondered or thought about how you can pull together a synopsis of a larger plan for a target audience? As we know, decision makers, CEOs, your bosses, they don't have a lot of time to sift through all of the great work that we've done to create a recommendation from a marketing plan. So what I'm going to show you today is how to create an executive summary for you to present that won't overwhelm the person that you're speaking with, the decision maker, and give them an opportunity to see in a quick synopsis all of the good work you've done and the recommendations for them to proceed. So let's get started here. Okay, so you should have a couple of things in Canvas that I want to show you. The first one here is a document that I've pulled together called How to Write a Professional Executive Summary. So what you're going to see here is sort of a step-by-step guide, at least of all of the things that you should include when you're taking a larger plan or recommendation and boiling it down for the audience that you're looking for, that decision maker. So you will find this in Canvas, and what I'm going to show you is an example of these principles put into real world format. So then I also have a case study here of an executive summary that I pulled together based on a possible client that I might work with. And so with that, you will see an example of what an executive summary for a larger plan or recommendation would look like. So you have these two documents that you can refer to in Canvas. So let's talk a little bit about the strategy itself. So how do you create a compelling executive summary that will provide enough information for the decision maker, but not too much to overwhelm them, where they're going to either tune out or ask you to just hand them over a document? So an executive summary is basically your recommendation with an overview of the problems, the highlights, the insights, the strategies, and the action plans that you have in a broader plan. And the reason why we do this is because, as you know, decision makers are busy people. Sometimes they have short attention spans, and this gives them enough meat where if they see something, they might ask you some questions that's in the plan, or they might take a look at the overall plan. But we want to have a piece that will get them to move to some sort of action step to take to the next level. So we always start out with a problem or opportunity statement when we're creating a plan. So I have an example here of Studio 23, which is a streetwear company, a retailer that is found in Uptown Minneapolis. They also have a new location in Studio City, California. So we're going to take this company, this particular brand, and let's say we're creating them an integrated marketing communications plan, or perhaps the launch of their existing store or new store. So we're going to begin with a captivating introduction that highlights the purpose of the recommendation and the impact to them, and then clearly articulates the problem or opportunity. So if you to take a look at that executive summary we create, I've simply provided a description of the company, what they are, a little bit about their mission, and then tell them what our team is compelled to do. So our team has completed a thorough analysis of that company's brand and has formulated a recommendation aligned with their best practices, tailored to meet the firm's objectives. So with that said, I've given them an opportunity statement that we're going to look at their brand. We're going to create some recommendations based on the information that they've provided to us. And so what we're going to do is describe our approach, the specific assignment or processes or tools that we've used to conduct that. So in this case, we're conducting a brand audit for them. The next thing we want to do is we want to show them that we understand their goals and objectives. So their goals and objectives here are they want to increase brand awareness, particularly in the California market, they want to understand potential new target audiences. So this particular firm not only sells clothing in their retail and online locations, but they also invite the community members in to practice their art. Maybe they're an artist or a musician. So they want to better understand those other target audiences besides the shopper. And of course, as in business, we always want to increase sales. So I have a problem statement here that the company has now expanded to Studio City, California, and the firm is interested in following. Does the brand resonate with the Los Angeles market? So we're always going to keep that information in mind. So we have the problem statement and how we're going to approach it. And now we are going to go through and present the recommendations. So in the case of this case, in the brand audit, we look at their target audiences and we are going to explain to them that they have 3 distinct audiences. They can go to the plan and look at the hard work we did defining all of the personas and probably 100 different attributes for each one of these. But we want to tell them that we have created the target audience. It's going to be streetwear fashion enthusiasts, artists, and musicians. And they have who have a fondness for creative activities. So that's our audience. And so as we evaluate the brand, we're going to keep those 3 segments in mind. So that said, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to present the recommendations. And the recommendations are communication tools that I have for you. And the templates on these tools can be located in Canvas. You can find them in my lectures and reports and more. So we know for the brand identity assignment that you have a full-blown 5-page audit that you're doing on the brand. And so in terms of the identity, in this case, we're going to evaluate their colors, their typography, their imagery, their key messages, and their logo. And you're going to take from what you've learned in that theory and those concepts and how you evaluated their brand and present them a recommendation. So it's as simple as that. And then finally, you're going to summarize the next steps. And in this case, if you're asking for business or you want to implement a plan, you're either going to ask them, when can I start? What's your budget? Do you want to hire me if you're a freelancer? Or can I move ahead if you're an employee of the company? So after you've presented the information, you definitely want to back up your data with evidence. So throughout our course, we have a number of different concepts and theories based on the assignment that you're creating that will go through and analyze each of the components for every assignment. So for example, in the brand identity assignment, you have the brand identity guide. You can use the concepts that you've learned in class, maybe the science behind color or typography. If you're working on a heuristics evaluation or a web presence or even a website audit, you're going to use the analysis or the tools that we have in class. The keyword analysis that you do, heuristics, perhaps you can use Google Analytics or some other data to present. If we do this recommendation or from this analysis that we've done, we believe you will get XYZ in return. So always visuals are a great component to each of them. Now, usually an executive summary is 1 to 2 pages, but I do believe that if you have an appendix with the good work that you've done, that for when you turn in your assignment, that will be great to provide a little bit of evidence to the decision maker that you've done that work. Always put in a timeline. So if you're recommending, making a recommendation, maybe you want them to change their logos. While you're creating that recommendation, you tell them when they're going to change it, why they're going to change it, and how you go about addressing that. And then finally, what I want, this is so important as you work in a team, whether it's in class or when in an organization, is that it's essential that all of you work together. I understand that you're busy people, and then you work individually perhaps on those things that are you have more skills in. Maybe somebody's a great writer, maybe somebody's great at graphic design, perhaps somebody likes to crunch numbers. That's the beauty of working in a team. But when you're pulling it all together, it is essential that you have one voice in one document. Obviously, I've seen thousands of plans in my career, whether it's in business or teaching. And oftentimes I see that students will break apart their plans and say, you do this, I'll do this, we'll slap it all together and upload it. Well, what I want you to do is I want you to have one person who is the final editor of that plan and make sure that not only are all the components there, but there is a nice flow and it's written in a consistent tone and format. You should have an editor on your team, and I want you to ask yourself this question before you submit it. What would my decision maker think when I presented this to them? If you believe that your boss is happy with it, or that you're looking for somebody to hire you and they're happy with it, that's when you submit it to Canvas. Okay, well, the final thing is that you also need to make sure that you have next steps and a call to action. So you thank the customer for allowing you to create this recommendation for them, but also say, I'd like for us to meet again after you've had time to process and go through the next steps, or would you like to move ahead today? So it's always important to do that. So as always, if you have questions, please feel free to reach out to me. Remember, there are 2 documents in Canvas for your review. I have a cheat sheet of the elements that go into writing a great executive summary. I have one executive summary here. Remember, this isn't going to be for all your assignments, but it'll give you at least a look and feel and how I've captured some of the elements in a very short and concise one. So again, enjoy doing your assignments. In most of my classes, you will have an executive summary for every recommendation or building block that goes into a larger plan. And then you will have a full executive summary when you wrap up and put all those pieces together. So good luck, everybody, and I look forward to reviewing your documents. Take care.